Okay, here we go. Tonight I'm going to work on the 1311 a little bit, and the goal is just simply one task a night or every other night. Just kind of, I got to work my way into it. You know what I mean? Like if I don't want this thing done bad enough, I just get tunnel vision and that's all I do is work on this thing, and I don't want to do that. So tonight's task is fixing something that has always bothered me on this particular setup. Now, obviously, these are custom sway bar arms. I used to run a shorter one. The rig didn't like that. So we made these ones, and it works way better. Now, there's a ton of leverage from the pivot point there to here. And one thing about these TK1 arms, they normally have a little red deal right there. Where's the little red deal? Here, we'll go over here. So these are just 1/4 bolts that go in here, and they have the little cap that goes on. You tighten it down. The one thing that I have fought over and over and over with this style, the rounded with the 2 bolts, the square one, I've tried them both. No matter what you do, this bolt right here starts coming loose, and no matter how tight these two are, I mean, you could bend the bolts tight, it'll start sliding back and forth this way on the sway bar. So I've had this idea forever to take the bolt out, put a stud in there, and basically make a ring that goes around this piece right here that has oval slots in it. And what I'll do is I'll drill and tap the aluminum piece, make this piece out of steel that has a square cutout in it that encapsulates the head of the nut. So you line it up wherever index is on there, and then put 1/4 screws in this. So no matter what, this piece can't roll. I could even safety wire those 3 or those 4, or maybe it's only going to be 2. I don't know. I haven't got to that point yet. But I made some temporary deals just to confirm one thing, because I've never really known if when those red deals were tight, if there was any play in and out through the chassis. It's been so long since I built this, I couldn't remember. It was like, how tight are these aluminum blocks to the rubber bushing? Luckily, everything flushes out. So apparently that one point in time, we measured something right and did it. So I'm going to sit down, draw this piece out, and give it a test. And if I feel like it's going to work, then we'll get this drilled and tapped and get this piece on there. And if that all works, all we have to do is paint this. The arms are already all powder coated, and then that'll be one thing, just one thing done, checked off the list. Once these are painted, they dry overnight, install them tomorrow night, and then we'll bolt the front sway bar on tomorrow. But I got to get onto this now. Okay. Might possibly have got it on the first shot, maybe. So this is that plate I was talking about. So that nut right there will get encapsulated. So you basically, this ring would pop off, and then you would tighten your nut up with some Loctite, and I would use a Stover nut here. And then in here, in the center of those slots, we will drill, tap, and put stainless steel helicoils in there for 1/4. And then when this ring is on there, it'll take place of the red deal that was in there. So that way the sway bar is being pulled into the back of the plate, and the plate is being held on with that. It might fucking work, it might not, but we're gonna test it. All right, got what I wanted to get done, so now everything has to come apart and get painted, but I'll show you how this works. So this is the plate that I was talking about earlier in the video that I wanted to make. So how it works, you have this plate right here, goes on first. So 1/4 bolt or stud. I'm probably gonna stud this. I'm just using a bolt because it's easier to mock up. I'll probably do a grade 8 stud with a Stover nut in there. So basically that goes on first, and then you take this plate and you put it over the top of it. And what it does is this one right here allows for the plate that holds the sway bar arm to get tightened to the sway bar. So if you took that nut off and you suck that thing down, that's gonna keep these flush and tight. Once that one is installed, this one essentially is the lock ring. Now the stud cannot back off, nothing can move. So in theory, it'll never back out. It might not. I don't think it will. So only one way to find out is put a bunch of miles on it and see what happens. So that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. That was my goal, get those parts made. Was gonna paint them tonight, but didn't get a fire going. So tomorrow night we'll get a wood stove ripping, paint that stuff. The sway bar will be 100% done tomorrow night. We can actually have all the bolts. So we can put all the new bolts in, anti-seize the bar, put all the stover nuts on, and then we'll check that 100% off the list. And that'll get us about 1/16 of an inch down the list that's about 10 feet long. Cheers.